The Jazz land in Boston tonight. Stop 3 of a 5-game road trip, and that is TD Garden, home of the 3-win Boston Celtics. Greg Bolerjack, you know him. Big T, Thurl Bailey, Jazz Nation, glad you are alongside. What do you say? Here we go, because last night, Charlotte, a tough 23-point loss to the Hornets. And T, for most of the season, it's been a two-man show for the Utah Jazz. It's been Markkanen, it's been Keyonte. They need a third piece. Those two have combined for 47% of the scoring, 42% of the threes, 60% of the free throws.
Well, they need a third, fourth, and fifth piece, Bowler. But these two have been a dynamic duo for sure. And it's always important for teams to have those two players that connect. And you see how they get each other open, because the sole purpose isn't for one guy. It's to really confuse the defense. If they switch, Lauri Markkanen's tall enough to get it right over the hands of the defense. You see Lauri, you'll see this tonight, him setting the screen, sometimes rejecting it, but also putting himself in a place where 3 defenders are drawn towards Keyonte. He's got a wide open three-point shot that he will hit most of the time, and sometimes he will make plays, which is kind of a new twist for him this year, but he and Keyonte have been dialed in. And listen, it's not a selfish duo. They're just waiting on a few other guys to have breakout nights.
Maybe tonight, maybe Taylor, maybe Bryce Sensabaugh. One thing for sure, that three-point shot needs to fall down for the Utah Jazz. Let's talk about the Celtics, because their 3-game winning streak was actually absolutely shut down by the Houston Rockets. Boston 3-4. The big news, T, Jason Tatum is out. That Achilles injury that he suffered in the playoffs last year. They do lead the NBA in three-point attempts, over 47 a game. That's second only to last year's Celtics team. Another worry tonight, and the NBA knows this player well, Jaylen Brown. He's good for 25 a game. Also to Deadeye from downtown at 46%.
Well, he's shooting over 50%. You see those numbers right there, and over 45% from 3. So he is a one-man wrecking machine. They have other guys who can knock down threes, the Sam Hauser, Derek White, but Jaylen Brown is definitely the team leader. They follow what he does, and the Jazz are really gonna have to try to defend that 3, which they haven't done in the last few games.
Yeah, with Tatum out, Brown really has been the centerpiece of the Boston Celtics. Can the Jazz slow him down? Stay close. Up next, Taylor Made will send it back to Salt Lake City. That's where Alema, Mike, and CJ will break it all down. Stay close. That's up next.
To have, with a leg that's recovered, why not guard one of the best small forwards in the league?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to get his test tonight for sure. And I think that's great. You're throwing him in the fire a little bit, and we're talking about him continuing to build his confidence back and coming from that injury, too. And I think the more reps we can get, you see him making threes, you see a late cut pass from Keyonte here, keeping his balance. Talked about the crashing from the boards here. Here's one coming up. But him just being able to continue to round out his game and find his niche is going to be great.
And we talked about his improved physicality, right? As he was rehabbing from that injury, got into the weight room. He's much stronger, and that has improved his presence on the floor. All right, stick around. Coming up, we'll send you back out to Boston. LG, Big T, and Bolerjack, all of that is on the way. Starting lineups and tip-off coming up on SEG Media.
Game road trip lineup tonight for the Jazz and the Celtics. Keyonte George v. Mikhailuk back at that starting position with Lauri Markkanen, Taylor Hendricks, and Nurkic. Pritchard and White, the 2 guards, with Brown, Minot, and Keita, the former Utah State Aggie. Your starting 5 for the Boston Celtics. Courtside we go, LG.
Well, guys, Isaiah Collier is back with the Jazz. He is available tonight. This is after dealing with that right hamstring injury. He was just cleared last week for full on-court participation, and before tonight's game, Coach Hardy told me they need depth at that guard position. Pressure's bothered them early on in these first few games to start this season. Coach said Isaiah's good at breaking that pressure. It's going to be good to see him back on the court and see how he affects the pace for the Jazz. Guys.
Thanks, Lauren. And by the way, Big T, Will did not really talk about minutes played or if he would, but he went back down to the Stars to try to just find his shape a little bit, and he's made the flight here. And it's really a good point by Lauren and what Will said. Look, we need someone to go in and disrupt inside the paint, and he is that guy with the speed and the strength.
Yeah, Coach Will already talked about pace, and Isaiah Collier is synonymous with pace of the game. And he plays a physical game, which the Jazz need more of that physicality. So we'll see what happens tonight if he gets to enter the game.
Jazz have had struggles on this road trip in the first quarter. They left games slip away quick and fast.
And some of it is not really about turnovers. It's about defending the three. When teams get off shooting the three well early, the Jazz have struggled the last couple of games.
Also an important factor tonight, the three-point shot. Marketing tied up. They're going to get a jump ball on the first possession after the tip.
But that shows you a little bit about what the Celtics are trying to do with Lowry. They're probably going to blitz him a little bit tonight, send another guy to get the ball out of his hands, see who else can beat him.
Tap collected by Keontae. 47 three-point attempts for Boston. The Jazz have struggled making the three-point shot on this road trip.
Yeah, they are crowding and switching.
Nice spin inside. Nurk had to rush it a bit. The Jazz missed gimmies even last night on the road in Charlotte.
Yeah, you got to punish the smaller guys if you're Nurk, especially if they're going to crowd Lowry Markkanen. You got to make them pay.
Jaylen Brown's been the centerpiece of this Boston franchise since Jason Tatum went down in the playoffs last year with the Achilles. Inside, Keita, 7-footer, 5th year out of Utah State. Aggie fans know him well.
Well, the Celtics don't drive as much. They love that three-point shot, but they might test the Jazz if it begins to work for them without Walker Kessler in the game.
Yeah, walks out for the second straight game. 3, uncontested, Derek White. He's only shot 25% from downtown this season. He'll take nearly 10 attempts, but on a career basis, 37%. Markkanen try to put one home, and it's out, and White and Brown are running. Jaylen Brown, the step back, the bounce, and 2 more.
Well, Jaylen Brown, a physical player with undersized Keontae. No help comes, and he takes advantage.
Keontae drives, kicks, there's a corner 3. Up and out, 1 and out for the Jazz. Keita the rebound. Utah fell behind in the first quarter last night, 39-25. Another 3 ball, up and out. Markkanen there for the rebound as he blocks out Minot.
Physical defense already that they're playing on this Jazz team, in particular Lowry.
Mikhailuk, good look, out it comes. Steve played here in Boston back in the 23-24 season, only 41 games played before he signed on with the Jazz. There's a flick of the wrist for 3, and down it goes by Pritchard.
Well, that's a guy you don't want to have a breakout three-point game. He's only shoot 18% bowler this season. Well, he shot over 40 last season, so you don't want that breakout game to be tonight for him.
Boston lost to Houston on this floor Saturday night by 27. That broke a 3-game winning streak. The Rockets went off for 3s, 19 in all. There's a Markkanen turnaround jumper. And right now the Jazz, again, on this road trip, just having problems just knocking down good-looking shots.
Yeah, and that's a shot over a smaller defender that Lowry usually makes.
Brown, that shot rims out, skips out. Here comes Lowry to Nurkic. A quick 10-0 start by the hometown Celtics. Jazz 0-3 on the road. Boston 1-2 here at TD Garden.
Short shot clock here.
Keontae, left to right, drives high off the glass, caught the rim and in, and finally the Jazz up on the board.
Beautiful read by Keontae. He knew Keita was going to come over to try to block that shot. He put it up right over his hands perfectly.
That was a 3.5-minute drought to start this game as Pritchard goes to work out front. Derek White. Mikhailuk hand in face, the 3. Keita, the rebound, and drops in an easy 2. That's a couple of early buckets by the former Aggie.
Well, the Jazz are going to have to try to gang block out and gang rebound against Keita down there. He's athletic. You know, he's a big body down there, so you've got to get to him early on the shot release. Right here, you see Lowry. He came over Lowry's back. Wasn't a foul, but you've got to force him back if you're Lowry. Don't give him a chance to get up over top of you.
Ace Bailey checks in, the 5th pick out of Rutgers. Mikhailuk comes out. Hendricks, who had a 14-point game last night in Charlotte, 12 in the second half, 7 rebounds. That ball pops like a cork, and we're going to get a whistle.
And you see Minot helping out Derek White with Lowry posting him up. They're always going to have a spy like Minot, somebody nearby to help out.
Joe Mazzulla, head coach of the Boston Celtics, 4th year, just like Will Hardy. They know each other well. Will made a 1-year stop here with the Celtics before taking the Jazz job. Nurkic drops that pass inside to Markkanen. They collapse 2 defenders. He drops it, turns it over. Pritchard, front court, drives on Taylor. There's Minot, wide open is White. Shot clock rolls to 10. White takes the 3 off the wing. Nurk rebounds.
Bowler, the Celtics are switching everything, but they're trying to get their best defender, Derek White, on Lowry as much as they can, even inside.
Jazz shooting 12% here in the first quarter, 1 of 8. Boston has gone 5 of 9 for 56%. Nurkic winds up for 3.
And he's going to get a lot of those looks. Nurk just has to knock him down.
Utah only hit 7 triples last night. 7 of 32 for 22%. They were so red hot in those first couple of games to start this season. Pritchard hits that mid-range shot. He leads the way with 5 early. And a timeout, 14-2 Boston. Last year, a 6-time All-Star, Achilles, he's moving around. He's starting to take some shots from what we understand, but still, it's a process, T.
Yeah.
It's basically 10 to 12 months if you're lucky.
Well, I'm sure that's good news, though, for the Celtics, and even greater news for the NBA. I mean, that's the kind of player who you would love to see back healthy and hopefully back to his normal self after those type of injuries with the Achilles. Seen a few of those last season.
Kevin Love just checks in, first shot, rips the net for 3.
That's good news.
Love made his debut last night for the Jazz, played 14 minutes, 3 points, 5 assists, and 5 rebounds. Garza is on the floor, number 52 for Boston. Also, Elijah Harkless is checked in for Utah.
Well, I really believe this was a play after timeout that they wanted Kevin Love to get that shot. Kevin's done that so many times.
Career 37% shooter from downtown. Anthony Simons on the court. Love, right place, right time for the rebound. They'll push it ahead. Here's Ace Bailey. Spins left to right. Nicely done. High off the window for 2.
That looked very comfortable for Ace. I like the fact that he saw an ISO situation and just takes advantage of Jaylen Brown.
There's a reason why Elijah's on the floor, T. He picks up the foul, but it's just relentless defense on Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, much needed, though, this bucket right here. And it wasn't an easy bucket. Went for the pump fake. Jaylen Brown didn't really go for it. But Ace Bailey, so athletic, gets it up over top off the glass.
Courtside, LG.
Well, guys, Kevin Love is out on the court, and he has been a great vet for this young, talented Jazz team. And someone that's noticed is Keontae George. He said that he's the same guy every day. Keontae George's locker is right next to Kevin Love, so he takes a lot of advice from him. And he says he makes the game a lot easier for him. The communication and how he talks is just rubbing off, is what Keontae told me.
Well, Keontae right on cue with a soft kiss off the glass. And Keontae with a couple of buckets here as the Jazz work their way back. 16-9.
Jazz are kind of in that spread out zone right now.
Hauser over the top pass, 1 bounce. Derek White misfires from downtown, rebound. Here's Hauser, watch out, 3-point specialist, got it.
Yes, he is. Watched him do that for a few years at Marquette. He was a teammate of my son, Brendan, and he has just gotten so much more consistent. They're looking for him to do a lot more this year for this team.
Boston's hit 3 of 9. The Jazz 1 of 5 from behind the arc. Market and works Brown down low, inside out. Tough shot, bounces out. Like to have that one back, and the rebound pulled down by Simons.
Lowry's just pulling those just a little bit short.
Ball tapped out by Love, picked up Keontae across the timeline. Jazz push. George takes the open 3 and nails it.
It's a great shot for him. Early in the shot clock, the defense thinks that he's going to settle in, and all of a sudden he pulls up from deep. Jazz starting to get a little run going.
Jazz look like a different team after that timeout with Love and Bailey on the floor with Harkless down inside. They're going to call a foul on Elijah, his second, and Shireman.
Jazz haven't gotten many of these in the last few games. Just early looks with the defense kind of backing down. Keontae reads it well and rises. Coaching up ace right now.
So Harkless picks up 2. It's Garza at the line. Kyle Filipowski will check in. Markkanen comes out. Jazz down 8. One more for Garza, 5th year out of Iowa.
Bowler, I like the Elijah Harkless factor out there. I know he's got a couple fouls right now, but he brings that physicality on defense that the Jazz need.
Here's Flip. Like to see him get into his own groove. They put a body on his back, lost it. It's going to be Jazz ball. 7 on the shot clock. Flip last night, 16 minutes T in Charlotte. 4 points and a steal.
Sam Hauser saved it off Flip, but it went back and hit him.
Look at the bounce, and now we get a foul on Love. Oh, they give it to Ace.
Yeah, he tried to set that screen and was definitely moving on it.
(21-12) Boston. Simons, great ball movement. Jaylen Brown open, 3 in, out, rebound Flip.
Good job by the Jazz trying to rotate, get out to those shooters.
Filipowski good for about 4 rebounds a game. Wide open shot. Love misses wide left. Hauser the rebound. Under 3.5 to play. Fast, quick first quarter. Flip inside for the rebound off the miss. Garza some backcourt pressure. Flip able to handle it nicely. They double down. Love's open inside. Ball stripped out of his hands, and Utah will turn it over. Only 11 giveaways last night, T, in Charlotte. Flip gets back and picks up the foul.
Jazz are starting to move the ball better. A couple little mishaps, like the one right there with the 2 bigs. Flip it, Kevin Love, but Jazz are getting, for the most part, some pretty good looks.
Walter Clayton Jr.
Imagine the NBA all in one place. Made easy, Xfinity. Imagine that.
T. Walt comes in. Keontae out with 7 points.
Well, that point guard position, as you well know, is probably the most important position. Keontae's been doing a great job of facilitating and also scoring, but you'd like a mature Walt Clayton Jr. this season, who comes in and he won't be sped up on the offensive side. Also got that good vision. See if he can keep the pace up here.
15 on the shot clock. Back out to Love. Hands it. Nope. Nearly gave it away to Bailey. Needs some help now to Harkless. Shot clock rolls down to 5. He's in the paint. Gives it up. Flip. Gives it a run for 3 and splashes home a triple.
Really good patience by the Jazz. Looked a little sketchy there for a minute, trying to get the ball to someone, but finds Flip wide open.
Jazz have hit 3 of 8 from 3-point land, 37.5%. Last night they hit all of 7. So Elijah Harkless coming in for D, but a nice pass out to Filipowski. Rainbows home a 3. Jazz hanging in there on the road, 22. Brought to you always by University of Utah Health, a trusted healthcare partner for the Jazz on and off the court. This road trip rolls on. Game 4 Wednesday night against Detroit in the Motor City. 4:30 pregame and a tip-off at 5 o'clock. Kate Cunningham, centerpiece of Detroit.
Ouch.
Remember that one?
Yes, I do.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. Let's go check in with LG.
Well, guys, we'll see how athletic Keontae is, and that was just last year. But believe it or not, Coach Hardy thinks he's more explosive this year. He says he's in a good space athletically right now. He's lifted really hard, and even during training camp, he said he was the most in-shape person on this team. It's hard to believe he can just keep progressing like that, guys.
No, he's shown off some of those skills, and that's
Wow.
a beautiful skill right there. A baseline drive reverse. Ace Bailey with 2 quick buckets here to start this first quarter. Jazz down by 5. Hauser launches a 3, 1 and out. Kevin Love.
I love the action that the Jazz are running. Walter Clayton Jr. and Ace Bailey.
Free ball. Right now the Jazz are catching a break. They have gone a little bit stale. Tillman Sr. on the floor for Boston. Markkanen off the bench, checks in on the next whistle. And a travel called on Pritchard.
First of all, the Jazz offensively, they're clicking right now. Nice action. This is a little bit after, but Ace finds the edge right there on Tillman and gets to the left side of the rim for protection. And he looked very at ease with that move. Bowler's good to see him working his way back into the groove.
7 minutes, a couple of buckets on 2 attempts. Last night, he had an assist, a steal, and 6 points against the Hornets. Markkanen, little rest, flick of the wrist, got it.
There you go. Lowry's starting to find his touch there in the paint.
7-0 run by Utah. Another 1 and out. Clayton with a rebound. Jazz could tie this game with a 3 after trailing by a dozen here early. Little slip pass down low inside. Got a foul.
And that's what the Jazz are going to exploit. Lowry's the tallest guy out there on the court. And offensively, that's a nightmare for other teams. So they're going to try to put him in situations where they switch. If they don't, Jazz have the advantage. If they do, it's definitely more of an advantage for a shorter guy to be on him in that paint.
And the Jazz started this game 1 of 8. They've hit 5 of 8 since. Hauser on Ace. Bailey between the legs. Beautiful move. Nurkic. Filipowski gets bumped in the paint, stays on his feet, throws it away.
Yeah, if you're Flip, you've got to rise up right there in that paint.
With a Jazz collapse 3 on Hauser. It's out of bounds. Jazz ball under a minute to play in the first.
Pritchard saying he didn't hit it. He wants a challenge, but
Mikhailuk checks in. Ace Bailey comes out.
Pritchard's not sure whether he hit it or not. He's checking with the video guy. Pritchard was trying to call the timeout to challenge, but a little too late.
Jazz works some clock. Mikhailuk in one corner, flipped in the other. Clayton Jr. He'll pop the 3 off the wing. Good look. Nurk trying to tap it in, knocked away, and it's touched last by Utah. Pritchard slow walk across mid-court. 9 seconds between shot clock, game clock.
Well, you know as well as I do, on the road, it's about weathering the storm. Jazz have done a better job this game and just cannot let that guy get his percentages up.
Now, you mentioned the 18% last year. He dropped 41% of his 3-point shots. He's knocked down 2 here in the first quarter. That shot takes 2 bounces and finally drops down for Walter Clayton Jr.
Peyton Pritchard ran into a cinder block wall called Nurkic on that shot.
You know, I was waiting to see if a whistle would be blown. It
No,
did not.
it
The
was
Jazz
solid.
play on. And Utah down 12 early Boston missing shots down the stretch. Utah making theirs. 25-21 Celtics after one. Lead this game 25-21. Utah shot 43%. I like the fact they hit threes, 3 in all, 3 of 9, 4-17 officially.
Well, the Celtics, as we talked about, love that three-point line. They've gotten up 18 already, Bowler.
Yeah, officially now 18.
Yeah.
4 of 18. They're on track to attempt 72 threes. Simons on a drive on Filipowski. Off the glass, takes a bounce. Nicely done. Mikhailuk with a rebound off the backside. Nurkic hands off to Clayton Jr. A little bit more pep in the step tonight than what we saw in Charlotte last night. Here's Mikhailuk. Steps to his right, three's away. Good look. Markkanen with a power. Tap in. Nurk finally. That's 4 attempts up on the rim, and Nurkic with a tap in for 2.
Yeah, Jazz were slow getting to those against Charlotte, but doing a better job with those second chance points.
Boston hit just 1 of their last 9 shots to close out the first quarter. Jazz down a bucket. They put some pressure on Pritchard. There's a turnaround Jay. Sweet shot down the barrel.
Yeah, Peyton Pritchard is so good at that shot, creating space, even on taller guys, creating space with a little fade on that turnaround to get it up over their hands.
They already got a 10 spot here in the first half. Markkanen. Beautiful pass down low inside, and Lowry breaks free. 2 early scores, 1 of 4 to start in the first.
So great to have a big that has that kind of vision like Nurkic. Just finding Lowry right on the spot.
Simons launches up a 3. Markkanen in a crowd. Nurkic had to back off a bit to let Lowry have that rebound. Mikhailuk front court. Quick move to his right, trying to slip a pass inside. Kicked out of bounds by Queta.
The execution for the Jazz has just been on point. Passing the vision, watch this, just almost a touch pass. Held it just a little bit just to get it where Lowry needed it, right at the rim. Too late for the D.
Both teams with 6 assists here in the first half. Markkanen, stop and pop 3, looks good, spins it up a little bit short, nice rebound, tapped out by Nurkic, inside flip, missed it. Jazz have had multiple little gimmies, little bunnies, as you like to say, up on the rim, and just can't get it to drop in.
Yeah, they've gotten better at those second tips, those second opportunities, but so close to finishing, you just can't.
Taylor Hendricks checks in. Markkanen will check out. Also a 19-year-old rookie, Hugo Gonzalez from Spain, the 28th pick this past summer, on the floor for Joe Mazzulla. Filipowski will jump against Queta. Speed wrestles that ball away. There's Nurk inside, 1 bounce, Taylor.
That's another one now. Queta is a really good rim protector, so you got to maybe pump fake him, get him up in the air. Shot blockers, one thing they like to do is they like to jump. So if you're Taylor, get him to go for it and get right into his body.
2 fouls now on Filipowski. Queta sets a screen. Pritchard against Nurk. Minot on a dribble drive inside. Ball deflected out. Nicely done. Nurk, quick outlet. Speed on a run to the rack. Euro step. Count it. No.
Another one.
Rolls off the back of the rim, and the Jazz, that's at least 4 now. The Jazz have had a shot to drop. Minot deep. He comes up short. Taylor Hendricks with a rebound.
But the good news is that Boston, they're having some of the same problems at the rim as well.
They are 2 of their last 13 off that miss. 1 of 5 here in the quarter. We played 3 minutes. Well, Baylor Shireman, a second-year pro out of Creighton, picks up his first foul.
Yeah, Nurk went to dive on that screen and Shireman tried to hold him to no avail. He was pulling Shireman along in the paint.
Well, this is low scoring 3 minutes, 4-2 Jazz here in the second.
You hear Will Hardy in front of us calling tempo to Walt Clayton. Just keep that pace up. Now he and Keontae are out there, which should make that tempo the way he wants it.
Beautiful pass. Taylor two-hands it. He had a big second half last night. 12 of his 14. He knocked down a couple of triples as well. And the Jazz, who at one time, not long ago, trailed by a dozen. They tied this game, T, at 27.
They have, with buckets like this, high percentage dunks. Jazz have knotted it up at 20.
You'll see them on the court and for sale in the team store on November 11th. That's a week from Tuesday. The Gradient is back. I saw one of the old City editions in the building tonight. Still got a good look.
Yeah, those things were, I think they sold out the first day that they brought them out.
See, that Jazz fan was in the perfect spot. I think he got at least a half a dozen or more pictures of himself with Jazz players.
No
it was
question.
Unreal. He looked at me and just kept smiling like, man, this is sweet.
Jazz doing what other teams normally do to them. A little full court pressure.
Jump shot down the barrel. Anthony Simons played at IMG Academy. His first 7 years he played in Portland. He's known for that three-point shot, career 40%er. Knocked down his first two. Keontae in the crowd, draws a triple team, resets, 10 on the shot. Nurkic has that ball tapped out of his hands by Brown, and a run easily to the rim. A left-hand layup by Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, Nurk turned his head. Jaylen Brown sneaks up on him and tips that ball away. Got a mismatch here in the paint.
One bounce inside from Taylor. Muscles up two, flies it over the top. It's going to be Jazz ball 8 on the shot. Markin and Love are at the scorer's table, and they'll check in. Nurkic out, along with Clayton Jr. Jazz put some size back on the floor.
Yeah, well, with the Celtics switching everything, the Jazz have an advantage outside and in, especially with Lowry back in the game.
Love looks inside out. Hendricks drops it, Marketing. Ball poked away, back-to-back turnovers. Ace Bailey jumps off the bench to check in on the next whistle. Here's Brown with a jumper. Takes a bounce out. Keontae George tries to take it away, picked up by Love. He'll throw it to his feet. Inside, one bounce. Oh, beautiful move. Kept his balance, Big T, and able to score.
Kevin Love and that Wes Unseld-like forward pass was right on time to speed.
His court awareness is high level. 5-time All-Star, Hall of Famer to be, and Boston rolls into. That's 9 for Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, Keontae's going to need some help if Jaylen Brown continues to get the ball that low on a couple of dribbles. May have to get a spy down there or somebody to come over and blitz.
Marketing wiggles inside, ball deflected out by Minot. Keita has it for Boston. Simons deep. Boston now 9-2 run after the Jazz had tied this thing up.
And it's about weathering the storm. Celtics have a little run going right now. Now the Jazz need to find something to squash that.
Shot clock runs under 5 now. Marketing against Keita. Step back Jay on the way. Nice rebound. Taylor Hendricks on a reset of 14 on the shot. Svi, 3, no. Minot there for the rebound. Jazz come up empty on 2 long threes. And then you give one back on the other end.
That's just too wide open. The same guy 2 times in a row. Simon's red hot right now.
Back-to-back threes, 8 points for Simons.
In Boston, they are a leading hospital in research against the disease ALS. Now, Coach Hardy's foundation is dedicated to raising funds and providing assistance to families affected by ALS, primarily in the Rocky Mountain area. This is a disease Coach Hardy lost his father to 10 years ago. The Will Hardy Foundation donated $100,000 today during their visit to support the hospital's groundbreaking research that they are doing on ALS. Guys.
Yeah, Will's right in front of us. You want to give him a high five right now, but he's got his mind on a little something else. But
yeah,
that's just a great donation to a great cause.
Oh, no question about it. Will's done a lot of great things, but that's what he teaches this whole team, especially the young guys. It's not just about basketball, but that's awesome.
Simons and Brown have fueled a 12-2 run by Boston. Utah's been outscored 14-8 here so far in the second quarter. Markkanen talking to Keontae, gives it back. Shot clock at 10. Bailey jumps out. Has the ball knocked out of his hand, squares his shoulders. Tough shot, jumps out, rebound. Cada, and back comes Brown and the Celtics. Markkanen now picks up Jaylen Brown in the paint. Little 12-foot step back. It's going to come up short. Rebound by Kevin Love.
Great contest by Lowry there. He may have gotten a fingernail on that ball by Jaylen Brown.
Love. Bailey back out to K-Love. 18-year vet, played at UCLA. Ball deflected out. The Jazz flat-footed. Really no place to pass that ball. Simon's been hot from three. That one's going to jump out to Love.
He's really collapsing on Lowry in that paint.
Markkanen open for three. Takes the shot. Harkless trying to swipe it away, and the rebound out to Minot. Hauser. Kevin Love. Another pickup off to Bailey. Keontae, wide open look. Jazz found some rhythm late first quarter, but they haven't found it here in the second.
They have not. They have not. And what's to be expected is the home team is going to try to make a run, and you have to keep that as short as you can. You know, a 10-point lead isn't bad, but the Jazz, if anything, they don't want to go down at halftime with any more than that. So they got to keep this thing closer.
Utah 3 of 14 from three, 6 of 23 are the Boston Celtics. They average 47 attempts a game. Tops in the NBA. Here's Brown, low block, trying to move in on Keontae. Markkanen came by. Kevin Love shows. Front, straight up shot, tapped up, and wow, up and in. Minot jumped out of the gym at 6'8" and scores his first two.
That's where most of those offensive crashes come, right there at the elbow. Coach Will Hardy talked about that. You've got the defense head turn, maybe ball watching at times.
Jazz have missed 11 of the last 13. That's not good. Markkanen holding his back, and you could tell. That's good to see him up. But boy, he grabbed that.
You see the physicality of the push.
He got pushed into Hugo Gonzalez, or pardon me, Tillman Sr.
I mean, that's borderline flagrant almost. I mean, this just a shove.
Also for the Celtics, number 88, Neemias Queta back in, replacing Xavier.
If Markkanen can walk that off, T, you know that hurts the day after indeed.
Yeah, he's had some issues in the past with that lower back. We hope it's not that, but looks like he can shake it off.
Jazz down 41-29. So far, just an 8-point second quarter for Utah. Keontae. Defense smothering. And a 24-second shot clock violation.
There's really nowhere to go for Keontae there. Keita just kind of follows him down in the paint and causes that shot clock to go dry. Right here you see Keita using that length and collapse. Derek White comes over to help.
Filipowski comes off the bench. She'll check in on the next whistle. Pritchard. Brown has that ball. He's got a mismatch with Keontae.
Going right back to the well with Brown. Seeing if the Jazz are going to try to switch.
Forces a pass out. There's just an easy floater. Pritchard leads away with a dozen here in the first half. 43-29. Utah's missed 12 of 14, 7 straight, make it 8 in a row off the miss by Harkless. Bailey. There's Nurk, floater. Tapped up, no. The Jazz one more time. And Markkanen on the backside scores a bucket.
Good extra effort. Jazz had been on a drought down there on that end.
Derek White on a pass out. It's going to be off the hand of Hauser.
Right here, Bowler. It's like a volleyball game almost down there. Ball going over the net a couple of times, and Lowry finds the tip in.
Markkanen comes out. Going to try to keep warm, T, and keep that back stretched out.
Keontae trying to force the issue. He's become very good at that, getting downhill with physicality, drawing the contact and gathering just at the right time to get to the line.
So Pritchard the foul, and Keontae, who averages 9 free throw attempts a game at the line. Mikhailuk checks in. Harkless will check out. One more for Keontae. 25 in Charlotte last night with 7 assists. 9 here in the first half. Jazz down by 10. Garza. Derek White somehow kept his feet. Hauser. In and out, and the rebound to Keontae. 2 minutes left, first half. Keontae straight away 3. They're going to call an offensive foul on Filipowski.
Kyle Filipowski, that's his 3rd personal foul.
So 3 first half fouls for Flip.
Same play. They tried to get Jaylen Brown on the post.
That shot nearly jumped in for Derek White. Filipowski the rebound. Keontae running the show. Quick move to his right. Drives, scores it. No, missed it. He went right by Jaylen Brown, but missed that easy little finger roll for 2.
Yeah, he got up holding that left hip.
That's a 5-point swing as Pritchard with 15 off the 3. Utah 5 of 23 here in the quarter. Coming up, stats highlights on the Mark Miller Subaru halftime report. J.J. Miles back in Salt Lake with Mike and Lemma. Mark Miller Subaru, Utah's only negotiation-free Subaru retailer. There's a little push shot too for Nurkic, his first bucket of the first half.
Well, just a nice patient move. I mean, Jaylen Brown tried his best to push Nurkic out a little further to no avail. Just a nice spin move.
Brown drives in on speed, takes the shot. Nurk able to punch it back to Filipowski. Just a 35-point half, and we got a foul right at midcourt.
The next foul is on number 52, Luka Garza.
So Luke Garza picks up his first.
In the last 2 minutes.
Here's Keontae, stop and go. Inside drive, Nurkic denied. Derek White weaves his way across midcourt. Once it goes coast to coast, goes corner 3, up and out. And the rebound back out to White after the miss by Pritchard. 8 seconds, shot clock, game clock. That's the separation. That ball is going to drop out of bounds. Utah will get the final shot.
Yeah, good defense, though. Good defense by the Jazz. Great rotation. Jazz really contesting the potential threes a lot better than they did last night in Charlotte.
Luka Garza out, Tillman Sr. in. Keontae, minute, nearly half court by Pritchard. Got to hurry. One to shoot. Falling away. Got the foul. Pritchard put his hands on his head. Can't believe it.
Number 11, Peyton Pritchard. That's his 3rd team limit.
Yeah, managing the clock really well. Again, he feels that bump from Peyton Pritchard and gathers just at the right time. Keontae has really dialed that in to be a part of his game consistently.
But Keontae, first Jazz man to score double figures. 10-point game, 10 for Keontae. Utah really struggling from the floor in this quarter. A total of 5 of 23.
Yeah, and yet potentially they could only be down single digits. So that's good. A good job managing the run of the home team.
Flip try to tip it in. The lead stands at 10 for Boston. Low scoring first half, 46-36. George with 10, Markkanen 8, 15 by Pritchard. And Jaylen Brown held to 9 points in half number 1.
Yeah, I just thought the Jazz did a better job. It's one, starting the game out well and managing the run of the Celtics. So third quarter always beginning is going to be very important for the Jazz to come out.
After the break, back to Salt Lake, stats and highlights. The Mark Miller Subaru halftime report. CJ Miles in the house with Mike and Alema.
Zions Bank, the official bank of the Utah Jazz.
Well, Boston, such a big piece of the American Revolution. That is Bunker Hill. 46-36. T. Oh, yes, low scoring first half of play. We look at the Built Ford Proud leaders. Brought to you by your local Ford stores. Visit buyfordnow.com. The lone Jazz man in double figures, Keontae, with 10. Markkanen struggled. They were very physical on Larry. He was 3 of 12. Pritchard dropped in 15. Jaylen Brown goes for 9 on 4 of 13 from the floor.
Well, Bowler, as you call out those numbers, I'm looking at this stat sheet. I think this game, whoever wins it, it's going to have to be the bench that comes through for either team. Right now, if you look at what the Jazz bench did, you had some reserves come in doing a great job. Kevin Love coming in, hitting his first long outside shot from 3. Walter Clayton Jr. doing a nice job of just taking his time, finding good shots. Look, all these points you're looking at happened in the first quarter, but I thought the defense of the bench did very well. Now, the bench has 15 total rebounds against their 7, against and 6 assists against their 4 assists from their bench. So the bench is going to play a big part for both teams in this second half.
Jazz need to punch the ball in, Big T. They've missed some gimmies at the rim. It's the fewest first half points scored since December of 2018.
Yeah, I think that actually favors the Jazz because this is a manageable score, right? You don't have 1 or 2 guys going. You got Peyton Pritchard leading them in scoring. It's normally Jaylen Brown. So both teams doing a good job on the primary score for their teams.
Hey, spend your night out with Lola Blankets starting at $175. Get 2 tickets to the Jazz and the Atlanta Hawks plus a Lola blanket. And you also get a photo on the court postgame. T, you'll stop by. Go to UtahJazz.com and get yours today.
I do know.
T, how many times do we say it? Look at Will Hardy pumping up Keontae right now, walking by us. But these first 3 minutes, oh so important anytime, especially on the road.
That's right. And you hope the law of averages kicks in for a guy like Lowry, right? You talked about not having a great scoring first quarter. They're putting a lot of attention on him, the Celtics are defensively, but Lowry's got to find a way to get open and knock those shots down.
Hendricks with Mikhailuk, Nurkic, Markkanen, and Keontae. Your starting 5 here to start the third quarter. There's an offensive foul. Queta, former Utah State Aggie, whistle for the foul.
Yeah, Keontae did a great job of really selling that. Queta was continuing to move on that screen, but Keontae didn't give up on it and tried to get around it.
There's Lowry. Took a hard spill in the first half of play. Mikhailuk argues, and we're going to have a timeout early. Will Hardy at the 11:39 mark. Both officials now having a conversation.
Yeah, the Jazz won't need to challenge this, which is good for them.
You know, each official has an area that they have responsibilities for. And Monty McCutcheon pointed that out to us, T, in our NBA meetings this early fall, late summer. And it's good to have somebody else come over and say, no, I had a better look.
That's right. Yeah, especially that lead official, right? The guy who can see kind of everything from his point of view.
White leaves it for Hauser. Pritchard down on the baseline. Corner 3. Up and out. And Nurk was the last to touch it.
Out of bounds, Celtics ball.
Jazz scored 21 in the first quarter, 15 in the second. A 10-point game here in Boston. Derek White looks inside, needs help, finds Jaylen Brown, guarded by Hendricks. He'll jump the shot. Short, tapped up and out. Rebound Nurk.
Again, good defense by the Jazz. Making the Celtics choose on that short shot clock.
They put some pressure on Jaylen Brown tonight. Nurkic inside, wrap around and in. Now there's a shot you got to make. 2 of 7 for Nurkic in the first half. Jazz cut it to single digits. Largest lead for Boston, 14. Jaylen Brown rolls inside and scores it.
Jaylen Brown that time getting into Taylor Hendricks' body on that drive.
Jaylen Brown out of California, number 3 pick back in 2016. Nurkic the offensive foul.
Just a nice dive by Nurk, draws Jaylen Brown on the cover for Keontae. Beautiful pass right here. Nurk doesn't set the screen, just dives to the basket, and defense has to make a decision, just can't get there in time.
Jaylen Brown working against Taylor Hendricks. The ball skips off the rim. Nurk, nice job. Takes a fall, still able to get the ball out to Keontae. George, wicked first move inside and scores it.
He is so good at that. Just that acceleration downhill after the first couple of dribbles.
Mikhailuk trying to put the brakes on. Jaylen Brown chases at his own speed, double pumps. Speed stays down. Pritchard, 7 on the shot clock. Rolls inside the dish. Queta scores it 1.
Well, Nurkic wanted a 3-second call in that paint. He thought Queta was just down there way too long. Yeah, just a nice dump down there from Pritchard to Queta.
3 buckets, 6 points for Queta. And Hendricks jumps up to take it away. 50-40 Boston. Jazz are 0-3 on the road. Boston 1-2 here at TD Garden. Boy, again, Markkanen. They swarm him, turns it over. Hauser, Pritchard. Back out to Sam. Hauser deep. No. Rebound. Nurkic.
Well, that's the game plan. Bowlers to make it tough for Lauri Markkanen. Again, their best defender, Derek White's on him now, but they're really crowding him in there when he gets the ball.
Nurkic just inside the 3-point line, drops it in his feet. That's a tough shot. Beautiful roll up and in for Mikhailuk.
It is, especially on a shot blocker. Just catches him off timing and off guard.
His feet was 1 of 5 in the first half. Boston gets that bucket back off that soft touch by Jaylen Brown. Brown, a four-time All-Star. George, quick hit three. Got a whistle down on the baseline, and Keontae took a fall. So it's like a midsection hit for sure.
Well, below the belt. Not sure whether he was kicked or kneed. Take a look at it. Let's see. Oh, kind of a reckless closeout.
Celtics foul was on number 7, Jaylen Brown.
Pitchers may look at this.
First team foul.
Definitely was in Keontae's space.
Now the officials do have the ability to have the earpiece in, talking to Secaucus, a replay center, Kevin Scott.
The last play on the court is now being
You can see right there putting that earpiece in.
Yeah, really a dangerous play. We've seen a lot of guys on the offensive side get injured. So you lunge out, you get in the guy's space.
A little leg whip as well.
Yeah, that's just a dangerous play. So I'm seeing a possible flagrant one in there. You put the offensive player in danger of being injured right here. Just to
took away the landing zone and also the leg.
Yeah.
Chopped his legs out.
After review, the defender does not commit a reckless closeout. There's no direct foot-to-foot contact or high potential for injury. Therefore, it's a common foul to be 3 shots.
Wow.
That wasn't high potential for injury.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not looking at this and you through rose-colored glasses, but that looked like a definition there.
It did. And look, I know who we broadcast for, but any player with that kind of closeout has the potential of being hurt offensively. I'm not sure it should only have to be foot to foot.
3 shots for Keontae. George averaging 9 free throw attempts this year, 93% at the line. Big T, Keontae averaging just under 22 a game.
Yeah.
21.8, one more, and then another.
Imagine the NBA all in one place. Made easy, Xfinity. Imagine that.
Yeah, that play just still bothers me. What if Keontae got hurt on that play?
Well, he was down for a bit.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it could have been anything. I don't know. I think that was a potential for injury, for sure.
One more from George. And Keontae is 6 of 7 tonight from the line. Leads Utah in scoring with 15. Nurkic and Markkanen 6 apiece. Garza back to Jaylen Brown. Will slide inside and drops it over Nurkic for 2.
Yeah, the same goes for Jaylen Brown on the law of averages. You let him play at his own pace, he's going to find a way to get to the rim.
Keontae George will go back to the line for 2. Luka Garza, number 2.
That's his second team foul.
Keontae just so much improved on his physical part of the game. Taking it to the defense, making sure they feel him. Capitalizing on the line.
First one's up, first one's good. Here's LG.
Guys, Keontae has always studied how to get to the line, but something that stood out to Coach Hardy this year is the way he's getting to the free throw line. He says he's playing with angles a little bit better, playing in straight lines, and when he is in his straight line, he knows how he can affect the defense as well. He's not fishing for them as much this year, and you can definitely see that through these first few games this season.
Yes, you can. And fishing means you're trying to contort your body to make the contact instead of focusing on the shot, taking advantage of the straight line, trying to get to the rim.
I mean, we're not going trout fishing?
No. No, we're not.
No, I love the comment by Will about the straight line that Keontae is running. So you don't fish for the free throw. It actually comes to you with the way you play. And Keontae's got the ball, drives inside, left hand, beautiful layup.
That's that straight line again, Bowley. He saw the angle right there by the elbow.
And if he takes the foul, you got a three-point opportunity. And
Absolutely.
Keontae George right now rolling the Jazz closer with 19. And the Jazz are behind Keontae. He has scored the last 7 here in Boston. 5-point game.
And not to give him the ball. Who's going to be the key? This guy right here, Keontae George, doing a great job. Has 7 straight points for the Jazz right now, but is leading the charge. A little hezzy right here and getting by your official, the primary off defense, and then getting to the basket right here. You see Keontae just leading the charge. Hope he can keep that going, but also distribute and get Lowry involved as well.
10 points first half, 9 here in the third for George. The Jazz have outscored the Celtics in the third quarter, 13-8. The rebounds offensively, 11-7 advantage Jazz. Also, they're plus 10 overall rebounding the ball tonight. There's a missed shot by Derek White, and it'll be Jazz possession. And a chance to cut into this 5-point lead by Boston.
Yeah, and with neither team shooting great from the three-point line. Jazz a little under 19%, but Boston a little under 25. I think it favors the Jazz. I think the Jazz, if they can play their kind of game, get to the line, Keontae George still getting it done.
Yeah, feed the beast at the moment. 21 for Keontae. You put all your focus on Lowry Markkanen, and you get your second score to get more involved, and that's Keontae. Nice save by Taylor. Nope, they're going to call him out of bounds. 3-point game, T.
Well, the Celtics trying to feed their beast as well, and Jaylen Brown. Jazz doing a better job of making him kick it out. You'll take those threes from Luka Garza, who just checked in.
22 points a game for Keontae, 21 tonight. Anthony Simons, Brown against Ace Bailey, the rook, number 5 pick. Drives inside. Markkanen was there to help.
Utah foul is on number 19, Ace Bailey.
The Celtics are really going to try to work through Jaylen Brown to try to get an advantage.
This will be Jalen's third free throw attempt. He's 1 out of 2.
Well, I thought that first half was just a drought from the free throw line for both teams, going 3 for 4.
Our upcoming schedule brought to you by University of Health, trusted healthcare partner on and off the court. Road trip rolls on. Big T will be in Detroit Wednesday night, the Motor City, and then another NBA Cup game against Gobert and Conley and Jingle and Joe Friday night. And we'll see Minnesota again, but at Delta Center on Monday.
Yeah, that's becoming pretty fast, Bowler, once we get started.
Oh. I mean, it's hard to believe this is game 7 of 82.
Coach Mazzulla trying to find some rim protection, pulls Garza out, and puts Tillman in the game. Keontae is driven past his defenders, get to the rim easily.
Kevin Love on the floor for Utah. Keontae. Markkanen, they double him in the paint, looks at the shot clock, step back Jay. I like it. You know what? Did not panic, squared up, and just knocked down a real nice soft touch jumper.
Well, he didn't panic, and he had time to look on the other end of the court at the shot clock to know he had enough time to hit that fadeaway jumper.
Jazz have taken the crowd out here at TD Garden. It's a 3-point ball game. Simons, jump shot, scores it.
Yeah, Simon's doing a good job of leading their bench. Gets in double figures with that bucket. Got 10 points.
(58-53). Gonzalez guards Keontae. Elijah over the top, threw that ball away. It's going to be a 2-on-1 run to the rack and a layup scored by the rookie Hugo Gonzalez. His first score tonight. He's 19 years young, out of Spain. Harkless comes the other way. Leaves it for Markkanen. 3, bang.
Good push. Good push by Elijah Harkless.
Lowry in double figures with 11.
Hopefully that's a 3 that gets Lowry going a little bit more in this quarter.
Lowry, right place, right time, reaches out for the rebound off the miss. Will bring it into front court. Brown tapped it away. Jazz possession with 19 on the shot.
Yeah, you talk about feed the beast. Jazz need to get Lowry the ball. You see a lot of hands in there. Looks at the other end of the shot clock. Gets it right over Tillman. And on the break, Harkless just draws the crowd and they leave Lowry wide open out there by himself.
All right, so Joe Mazzulla takes Jaylen Brown out at the 5.5-minute mark. He's got 17. Minot checks in. Kevin Love feeds Markkanen. Inside, hook it up. And 2 shots for Lowry as he took a shot across the bridge of the nose.
What you just said, Bowler, is important. Jaylen Brown on the bench. Jazz have an opportunity here with this group in is to take advantage of Lowry and also Keontae George working together. You ever been hit on the bridge of the nose, Bowler? You know what that feels like?
Oh, yes, I
Tears.
do. Tears all night. Well, they'll dry up later.
All night? Oh, wow.
I've had a few like that, man. Like, whoa. Markkanen, first non-Keontae free throw in this game. Lowry has scored 25 or more 5 consecutive games. He had 29 last night. And he piles on another one, 13 for Lowry, 6 at the half.
Well, great scorers find a way. Lowry has so much in his bag.
The run, T, 16-8, 2-point game in Boston. White drives, missed it, tapped out, picked up the rook, Ace Bailey. Gonna take a run to the rack, couldn't finish, but the bounce in the bucket by Harkless. Oh, what a great follow. I mean, he was high speed down the court to put that missed shot back up and in.
Well, give Ace Bailey credit, first of all. Give the whole Jazz team credit for the defensive stop that started this. Ace Bailey misses it off the front of the rim. Elijah Harkless, the cleanup man, doing a nice job on the finish and getting fouled.
5 minutes to play in this third quarter. Bailey just missed the gimme. Harkless just flies out of nowhere, and there he is. Puts that ball back up and in.
I really like Ace Bailey's activity, though. I know he's been in for a little bit and comes back in with stench, but he's not doing a bad job. He's not hurting the Jazz at all. He's letting the game come to him.
See, the Jazz trailed by 14. There was one tie early. First lead for the Jazz, 61-60. Under 5 to play here in the third. Derek White out front. Simons. Rebound, Filipowski. Jazz come the other way, and they push it front court to Harkless. He's got some confidence brewing at this time, and he takes a seat. They're going to call a foul. It's offensive on Elijah.
See if Gonzalez had, looked like he was continuing the slide. He wasn't really squared up. Maybe you don't have to be, but it's a tough one.
Keita returns. We'll see Pritchard. Also Hauser back on the court. And Shireman as well. 61-60 Utah. Pritchard deep. Skip that one off the front of the rim, and George with a rebound. Head up. Kevin Love on the court. Screens. Opens some space for Keontae against Keita. Blows right by him. And this lead jumps to 3.
Hey, Keontae George licks his chops when he sees Keita out there trying to guard him. He knows he can get past him with blazing speed.
23 for Keontae. Hauser, baseline, tries to scoop it up and under, and a foul. Ace Bailey, hand in air, picks up the foul.
Yeah, we call inside mouse in the house. I don't know what this is. Maybe a rat in the kitchen. But Queta, he has no chance of guarding Keontae George one-on-one. Keontae doing what he does best, getting that first step.
Yeah, that's a wicked first step. 13 in this third quarter. And Hauser's free throw off the mark. Let's check in with Lauren Green.
Well, guys, Coach Hardy told me that the last few days that he's had a lot of conversations with Keontae saying he needs to help drive the tempo of this offense for this team. He knows he's in the shape to do so, but he's been wanting him to be the engine, is the word he's been using, to drive this offense. And I think tonight is where we're really seeing Keontae take that step in that initiative.
Well, he's saying, I think I can, Bowler, and he's getting it done.
You know what? I just see that chug-a-lug,
Little
man,
engine
up
that
the
could,
hill.
baby.
You betcha. Keontae pops a three, hits it on a step-back triple.
Feeling it. He's feeling it.
26 for the former Baylor Bear. Boy, he has knocked down that big shot, and he has put on a show here in the third quarter.
He's dialed in, isn't he?
A 24-9 run by Utah. No doubt, Keontae George. He went 3 of 8 to start. He's knocked down 4. Consider the active defensive moment. Protect your home with active pest control.
Well, we've seen a lot of defensive moments in this half. That's what's put the Jazz back in this game. Guys are collectively helping each other out, not giving up on plays, and more importantly, they're capitalizing on them on the offensive end.
See, they've outscored Boston here in the third, 30-15. They've held the Celtics at 39%, 21 from 3. Jazz at one time down 14. It's a 19-point swing. Utah by 5. Jaylen Brown after a rest back on the floor, and Harkless is on him like a blanket. They're going to call 3 seconds on Filipowski.
Yeah, and Elijah Harkless is the right guy for the job on Jaylen Brown. Really trying to force him to over dribble, kick that ball out, but that time Filipowski caught in the paint.
Technical free throw is good. Simon's back in. Also, Chris Boucher, who spent the last 7 years with Toronto, has checked in for the first time. These numbers in the league. Boucher wears 99. They get a 55 by Shireman. Jaylen Brown inside left hand just beat the shot clock. Jazz come back the other way, turn it over. Brown with a chance to tie or take the lead with a 3-point shot. To the rack and score just like that. Just like that. 6 straight off the hand of Brown. And we're tied up at 66.
Yeah, Brown's going to go to the line here. Got a whistle blown on this call, but he goes in, and there's Kevin Love. Jaylen Brown kind of goes in awkwardly and leans in.
Timeout, Utah.
Kevin Love not happy with the foul call. 2:46 left, and Will Hardy will take the timeout. Six all, and under 3 to play in the third.
Well, you can see the pattern for the Celtics. They are going to continue to feed Jaylen Brown. He is their best answer offensively. As you look at the numbers right there, Bowler, first half versus the third quarter for the Jazz.
83% from the floor. I mean, total turnaround. Also, the free throws have helped fuel the Jazz back in this game. 8 of 8. For the Jazz, a 30 spot here in the third.
Celtics number 88, Julius Gator back into the game, replacing Baylor Shireman.
Jaylen Brown had a little rest. He came off the bench, explodes for 6 straight, trying to make it 7 with a free throw.
I thought the Jazz did a nice job when he was on the bench. Not losing any pace. Keontae George really took charge of the offense.
23 for Jaylen Brown. The Jazz held him to 9 at halftime, 4 of 13. To a 14-point third. Markkanen saves it out front to Filipowski. Keontae, bounce pass B. Steps to his right. 3's on the way. Up, out, rebound.
Good look.
Boucher.
Good look for speed after the pump fake.
Brown. Short. Tapped up. Beautiful save by Mikhailuk.
That's great hustle there. Great hustle.
Jazz move it quickly. Markkanen, they double him. Out front, Keontae. Open to flip. Filipowski 3. Up and out. Another great look, wide open, but missed.
You can tell that one was floating a little bit to the left side of the rim.
Simons blocked by Filipowski. Mikhailuk. And the Jazz push it quickly. Corner 3 is up and good. No. Rebounded by Boston. Boy, Mikhailuk couldn't have a better look. Boucher for 3. He is a career 34% three-point shooter. He had 7 years in Toronto.
The Jazz have had some really good looks. Speed has had a couple of nice open ones. Nice little bump floater there by Kyle.
5 for Filipowski. 2-point game coming up on a minute to play in the third. 70-68. That stopped the Boston run of 9-0. Pritchard. Mikhailuk stays in front, hand in face. Shot off the side, and Nurk tries to save it. Keontae's there to help out baseline, and he's going to push up against Simons. Wide open is Lowry. Kick it for 3. No. Yes!
I love it.
Oh, baby, what a kick off that side rim. Went up and dropped home. Markkanen 16 the hard way. 10 of the quarter. Jazz back on top, 71-70. I tell you, the 3 has been unpredictable tonight on both sides of the ball. Brown, little stop-and-go jumper, and the foul whistled.
Well, Kyle Filipowski, just a nice block shot there on Simons, and then comes back with a bucket. A little bump and float. And Lauri Markkanen, what'd you say, Bowler? No?
Yes. What, he had that backspin tee, just like, a good bowler. You just, throw it in there.
Yeah.
Hooks back in.
Yeah, like Fred Flintstone almost.
Brown again at the line. Jaylen Brown, 4-time All-Star. You can understand why. Yes, they're missing Tatum. They had won 3 straight until that 27-point loss to the Rockets on Saturday night. Last year, this team won 61 games.
Yeah, they're trying to answer some questions as well with Brown at the helm. They've got a couple of guys who can really burst out in any given game. Jazz doing a really good job, though, defensively, especially this half, of keeping them in check.
About 4.5 seconds separate shot clock, game clock. Jazz have 5. Boucher. How about the spin move by Filipowski?
Beautiful job. I saw Kyle Filipowski do that quite a bit in the Las Vegas Summer League en route to being the MVP with moves like this. Just using that strong body to get that leverage against Boucher, and just a nice spin cycle into the rim.
Left-hand finish. Harkless loves it. George Niang throwing that towel around. The minivan ought to be back in the next week or so. Harkless checks in for Nurkic with 9 seconds to play and a free throw for Flip. Boy, what a third quarter for the Jazz. T, I want to remind you, they had 36 at the half.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I mentioned, it was a low-scoring first half of both teams, obviously, but I thought it favored the Jazz, just keeping them in the game on the road.
Jaylen Brown, give it a run. Flip for the rebound, and the Jazz hit the fourth quarter up by 2. Up by 2, trailed by 10 at the half. 74-72, Utah. Keontae George with 26 led the Jazz back in the third quarter. Utah scored 38. They had 36 at the half, LG.
Well, guys, in that timeout, Coach Hardy just emphasized, let's keep our tempo. He loves the pace that the team is playing at right now, and that is why this team is also up 2, guys, I think is because of that tempo.
This Filipowski rolls inside. On a reach-in is Garza, his 3rd foul.
Yeah, Kyle's really starting to find his groove in this game. And it's keeping him out on the floor. And not just on the offensive end. We saw that block shot he had that really ignited a fast break for the Jazz, but the Jazz need him, especially this season, to be the Kyle that they saw in the summer league, consistent.
Going to come up short on the first attempt. 8 points, 8 rebounds, and the block shot for Filipowski.
Must be some free food involved.
I think it's something to do with McDonald's. Makes the second. Flip working on a double-digit night. Played 16 minutes in Charlotte. 4 points and a steal. Anthony Simons. Flip jumps out, trying to protect that 3-point line. Hand in air, shots away, short, rebound, Clayton Jr. Jazz push the other way. You talk about tempo, that's what we'll watch for here in the fourth. Jazz can outrun Boston. They go flip in the corner. Nurkic, back out, catch and shoot, speed, 3, short. Markkanen try to reach up. Well, I tell you, it's good to be a 7-footer. Here's speed, deep, 3, no. Rebound, picked up, and the Celtics run with Pritchard. Nice job by Walt to shut down that drive. They go corner 3. That ball skips off, and Mikhailuk with a rebound. Boy, just a totally different pace in the second half. Count it. Mikhailuk just swings home his 3rd bucket, 6 points in this game.
I mean, never touched it with that opposite hand. Just rolls up over the top of Garza. Just dropped that one in. Speed.
Jazz, they tied their largest lead of 5. Just like the old days, Thurl, in the Eastern Conference. Low scoring, tough battle, 77-72. Pritchard launches a 3, comes up empty, right back to him.
Celtics trying to go back to the well for Jaylen Brown.
Simons, just enough space. I thought he extended the arm for that space.
Get that first step on Flip, and you saw the hand on the arm right as Simons gathered. Flip tried to pull it back, but just a little bit too late.
Simons with 12 points.
Well, that's why the Jazz go big. They feel like that their bigs can contain on switches the smaller players, the guards, and it's going to disrupt a lot of the opponent's offense.
That 3-point play slowed down a 11-2 run by Utah. Clayton Jr., national champion of Florida just a few months ago. Markkanen spins inside out. Here's Flip, takes the 3. Got it.
Great feed.
Got that shot down on his feet, picked it up and dropped it.
And Lowry with the awareness that they're going to crowd him down there. He knows that someone's going to be open. That time, Filipowski ready and willing and able.
Simons behind the back to Garza. 3 ball, jumps out. How about that rebound? Clayton Jr. way up high.
Jaylen Brown on the bench. The Jazz can take advantage, and they do.
Played here 2 years ago, 41 games. They remember him. And Svi drops a quick 5 spot here in the 4th quarter.
First flyaway tonight. They get 2 free round-trip tickets to Salt Lake City, and they get tickets to to a Jazz game. They got some awesome Jazz gear. This is Emerald and Kurt, very ecstatic about getting this gift tonight, guys. Now, Emerald, born and raised a Celtics fan until she married Kurt. He's been a fan since 1995 of the Jazz, so they are so excited to be heading to Utah to finally see a game instead of coming here to Boston every time.
I loved her reaction, like, what?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, you're coming to Delta Center. Thanks to Delta, the reverse flyaway. 83-75 Utah. Coming up on 9 minutes left. Jazz try to break a 3-game slump and win also their first road game of the year. 0-3. Strong drive by Simons and draws the foul.
Utah fouls on number 30, Yusuf Nurkic. That's his
Third on Nurkic.
Simons will be at the line.
Big T, the Jazz have outscored the Celtics in the second half, 47-29.
Yeah, those same shots that the Jazz couldn't find in that first half. They're in rhythm now. They're finding them. Svi Mykhailiuk, Kyle Filipowski, just doing a nice job of moving that ball around and staying physical.
Keontae, you saw there deep in thought. He's got 26. 15 now for Anthony Simons. Clayton Jr. dropped the handle, picks it back up. 9 minutes left in this game in Boston. Detroit is next, then Minnesota. Inside cutter, Nurkic floater, got it back, flip it up and good.
I mean, for a guy who's 7 feet and what do you think, Bowler?
Well,
280.
Well, actually 290.
290. I was being generous, but for him to move like he's moving and float that ball up with just a sweet touch. Great job by Nurk.
Pritchard launches up a 3, skips out, and Nurk's there for the rebound. Ball taken away. What's a rebound he liked to have back, and then Queta. How about that little finger, little jump hook, straight away, little finger roll.
Yeah, those are the kind that you hate to give up. They just kind of shift momentum, bring the crowd back in.
Mykhailiuk shot, rebounded by Queta. Jazz get it back, nice inside pass. Right in the back. It looked like that Simons on top of Filipowski.
Walter Clayton just snatched the ball out of Queta's hand, like taking candy from a baby, Bowler, big baby, but just took it right out of his hands. Watch Walt Clayton. Queta gets it, thinks it's secure. Give me that. Just nice hustle. Those kind of plays, Bowler, just so important for the Jazz on this run.
Will Hardy talks about that all the time, Thurl. It's 1, 2, 3 plays. Maybe it happens in one half or another that can dictate pace and also emotion of how this game will turn out.
Yeah, and it's tougher to do that on the road, right? You're not in the comfort of your own home base, if you will. You've got this crowd that wants to get into it, and you're keeping that energy down by those type of plays.
Nice job by Mykhailiuk. Comes out, Keontae George in, Kevin Love in, as Nurkic will get a rest at the 8-minute mark. Jazz using the free throw line to their advantage most of this night. That's just their 3rd miss, 14 of 17.
But again, Jazz can keep the possession. Goes off on the Celtics, goes out on the Celtics. Jazz able to capitalize here.
Hauser checks in, and Minot comes out. Kevin Love leaves it for Clayton Jr. He'll run it to the rack and score.
Man, that kid is impressive.
Making the adjustment. 46 points now scored in the paint. An 88-79 lead. Derek White trips up. That ball's down loose. Jazz, good defense, but a whistle.
Utah fouls on number 16.
They're going to challenge Bowler. They're going to challenge this.
Third team foul.
It's like Hart was poked it loose, and Jazz are going to have to take a look at it.
Will Hardy off the bench in a hurry. George Rodman gave him the sign, let's go. And so the timeout and the challenge. Utah on the road, 88-79 on the headset. Here's what they're looking at too. Did Harkless foul or did he punch this ball clean away?
Oh, from that angle,
from Hauser.
Like got the ball first. Tough to see at that angle, but this might be the best angle. Looked clean to me, Bowler.
Well, here comes a conference of officials right in front of us, T. You lip reader?
Not when their backs to me.
Here's a call.
After review, the defender reaches around and legally deflects a basketball, commits no illegal contact. Therefore, the call's been overturned. In the immediate aftermath of the whistle, it was clear that Utah would obtain possession. They'll have the basketball in the backcourt with 24 on the shot clock and the opportunity for a second challenge.
George Rodman, well done. That's a tough call. So Harkless does punch that ball away, possession to Utah. And also, they have another challenge if needed.
Yep. And the officials obviously wanted to get it right. It's an important part of the game. Every possession matters.
Clayton once marked it and found him. Guarded by Boucher. Keontae George was a big part of that big third quarter pushback. Clayton Jr. inside, dropped it to Love, fires up a shot and drops it.
Man, that's like the 25-year-old Kevin Love on that shot. Just a beautiful pass by Walt Clayton Jr. Kevin Love, a little flip behind the back off the glass.
18-year vet, just clicked the clock back a few years. Shot, White down the barrel. Has not scored since he hit a triple in the first quarter.
Yeah, Coach Will Hardy not happy with Walter Clayton Jr. on the timing of that contest. He's got to get there and anticipate it.
90-82 Utah. Under 7 to play. Can the Jazz break out of a 3-game skid? Clayton got it. Boy, no hesitation. It's amazing how the Jazz have been able to turn or flip the switch in the second half. That comes Boston the other way. Now you don't want to get in a shootout with the Celtics. That's 18 for Pritchett. Pritchard is a dead eye. Boucher picks up Clayton Jr. There's Markkanen fighting with Jaylen Brown. He spins out of trouble inside, tries to pump down 2, and he's fouled.
Walter Clayton Jr. will not be sped up. Makes that contact, gets that ball to Kevin Love. Little Love by the rim. That ball rolls in, and the bucket right here, just a straight up shot over Derek White. A really good defender too. And then Lowry trying to get the slam, but gets fouled on the way up.
Markkanen scores for the first time here in the fourth quarter. 17. This will be his 4th free throw attempt. And he's 4 for 4. And the Jazz, my goodness, T, trailed by 14, up by 10. A 24-point swing here at TD Garden.
Really, for Lowry, that's 17 the hard way. I mean, they have really focused on making it tough for him.
Inside, Boucher will score.
Miscommunication by the Jazz defensively. Derek White was trapped, and nobody covered that paint.
Kevin Love tries to hand that ball off. He's down on the floor, digs it out. Clayton fires a strike. George to his right, the three.
Good look, though. Good look. Good hustle by Kevin Love to get the Jazz extended possession there.
It was right in front of us. Thought he walked. Elijah Harkless agrees. I thought he took extra steps. Brown will be at the line for a three-point opportunity.
Well, they're going to force feed Jaylen Brown for sure this last 5 minutes or so. But I thought his feet took a couple extra hops. Let's see. Right there, it looks like you were right, Bowler. Let's see, this is a better angle. And Coach Will Hardy is arguing that point.
Yeah, he's making that very clear to Brent Haskell. .27 for Jaylen Brown. Adds a point to that total. Utah with the ball up by 5. 5:12 left, clock running here in Boston. Game 3 of 5 on the road for the Jazz. And Chris Boucher whistled for the foul away from the ball.
They kind of forearmed Lowry. And that's the physicality that they've been really trying to put on Lowry all game. Make it tough on him.
Keontae needs to hurry. Got it off to Nurkic. 5 minutes left. Keontae goes to work against White. Nurk back to Keontae. Drop the handle. Turn it over. Jazz get back with Harkless. They're going to make Boston work for this bucket. Brown. Pritchard. 3. No. Out it comes to Mikhailuk.
Jazz fortunate there. Turned it over, but
See, Harkless has just been relentless. Get back on the defensive side. Keontae back to work against Boucher. Pumps up the shot and scores it.
Yeah, I'm surprised no whistle there, but Keontae with the full focus on the downhill drive floats it in.
28-point ball game for Keontae George. That three's off the mark, and Svi is everywhere. Another rebound. Keita will check in on the next whistle for Boston. 97-90. Out front, marking it. Coming up on 4 minutes left.
There's a duo. Boucher's going to get another one.
T, you talked about it earlier, just a physical play of the teams last year, and now knowing they want to shut down Markkanen, who's good for 33 a night.
Yeah.
They double him almost constantly.
Yeah, but Keontae George on that drive, just understanding the advantage he has really on anybody there, but especially if a big is coming out to guard him. He gets that first step and it's over.
Joe Mazzulla calls the timeout. He wants to challenge that last call. .403 left in this one.
Boston has called timeout to challenge a personal foul.
The Celtics have called timeout to use a coach's challenge on the last call on the court.
Coach's challenge brought to you by Active Pest Control.
He was holding him around the waist.
Lowry is trying to here split the two defenders, and then there's a little hook there. They called that one on Hauser, though, not Boucher.
Somebody fouled.
There's a hook right there. And Hauser's got him around the jersey, the front of the jersey.
I'm not sure that was a good use of challenge.
I think Mazzulla is trying to turn the tide here with 4:03 left to play.
So it might be a successful call, but the successful challenge, but the foul is on the other Celtic.
Busy night for Kevin Scott and his crew.
Yeah, and
Boucher got him around the waist as well.
Boucher looked like he was trying to catch him and let him go, but you know, one of those two guys is guilty.
Conversation continues to our right. And Kevin Scott will make his way to the mic for the announcement.
After review, marketing for Utah clamps his primary defender's arm and then rolls directly into the secondary defender, not giving him the opportunity to avoid contact. Therefore, the call's been overturned to an illegal screen on marketing. The challenge is successful. It'll be Boston basketball.
So they're saying he clamped Hauser's arm.
Did not allow the release, thus falling to the ground. So they reverse it. It'll be Boston possession. 4 minutes left. A 7-point lead for Utah.
That's a big win for the Celtics at this point of the game. Trying to shift the momentum.
Derek White, out it comes. Markkanen sky high for the rebound. Markkanen, 18 points, 9 rebounds. Here's Harkless. Been a big spark. Jumps up a 3. Keita, the rebound. That comes Boston. Down 7 with the ball. Jaylen Brown launches up a 3. It's going to fall off to the left. And Nurkic back on the floor. Grabs a rebound. Now the clock.
Yeah.
You got to be clock, savvy here in the final 3:20.
And you still have to stay aggressive, right? You don't play not to lose, right? I mean, you don't waste the shot clock just to waste time.
Short. Jumps in for the rebound. Somehow, Pritchard came away with it.
They're going to go heavy, Jaylen Brown.
In the paint. Back out. Hauser, 3. Markkanen got in there to swat that ball away, but before there's a whistle baseline. Let's go coast to coast. Presented by Delta, proud to be the official airline and community partner of the Utah Jazz. These are news and notes. Joel Embiid fined $50,000 for what is, quote, a lewd gesture. Philly 5-1. Their 5th win last season didn't come until December 3rd. And the Suns beat the Spurs. Thunder, the only remaining unbeaten team in the NBA.
Spurs looking pretty good early. Wembanyama just tearing it up.
29 from Jaylen Brown. At 9 at the half. Makes 2. 30-point night for Brown. Averages 25 and a half.
Well, he's going to touch the... Not a good move by Keontae. Push Derek White. Derek bit on it. Trying to get open. A lot of times you'll come and push the guy expecting him to hold that leverage, but that time works against Keontae.
That's really a free possession right now for Boston. The lead is 5. Brown drives inside, puts a shoulder down, left hand.
They're going to feed him every time. He's going to be the playmaker for himself or for someone else. Jazz have to stay aggressive.
9-2 run, Boston. Loose ball, Nurkic can't dig it out. Boucher. That was Keita who came up with it. And just like that, an 11-2 run by the hometown Celtics. The Jazz holding on to a 1-point lead.
There's the pressure by the Celtics as Keontae gets fouled here by Derek White.
First foul on Derek White comes at the 2:06 mark. Free throws Utah. It goes back to the conversation and the statement by Will. 1 or 2 situations that turn a game upside down or in your favor.
Yeah, and it's the timing of them, right? And you got a close game here in the 4th. Just can't afford to do it.
This crowd is back in it. Short on the first attempt. Stick around. Siegfried and Jensen post-game report. Mike Alema and C.J. Miles will break down the highlights. A lot to talk about. Player interviews and much more. It's a big free throw here. Makes the second. 29 for George. 2-point game, 98-96, 2 minutes left.
That's who the ball's going to, Bowler.
It's going to be Jaylen Brown.
For sure.
Pritchard controls. Derek White. Oh, he'll take the triple. Oh. Big shot. He's made 3 threes in this game, and none bigger than that bucket. 14-3 run, 4 minutes off the clock. Nurk inside. Got bodies down. Nurkic.
Jaylen Brown gets his second foul.
Those 2 shots for Nurkic.
Well, like me, with a lot of focus on Jaylen Brown. Derek White gets wide open. And Nurk with a nice pump fake to get Kate up in the air. Can't finish. But gets to the line.
Now free throws. Right now a must. Jazz are 17 of 22. Makes the second. Tied at 99, like starting all over again.
Yeah.
Under 2 to play. It's all about stops.
Same play.
Pritchard. White jumps out. Marketing's there. Brown tries to take on Keontae. Here's Brown. Backs in. Bump. Swings in. Stop and pop. .34. Make it 36 now for Brown. Keontae drives inside. 2 free throws on the way.
You know where it's going, and Keontae kind of releases here.
No, he got off his hip.
Yep.
And found space.
Shot, and he comes back and gets contact as he gets down the middle.
Conte wants that ball in case Missoula is thinking about challenging. Two makes will tie it.
Both teams with 1 challenge remaining.
How about Keontae T? 30-point game, 37 minutes. Marketing has 18, 13 by Flip off the bench. Clutch ties the game at 101. Watch out for Derek White, that 3-point shot lethal. It goes to Brown against Keontae again. We got 3-second call on Nurk. Yeah. Oh boy, a minute to go, and that's a technical free throw.
And they get the ball. So you.
Derek White shoots the technical.
Just have to be conscious of all those things. Got to get in and out of that lane.
White gives Boston the lead. Will Hardy unhappy with that 3-second call on Nurkic. You're right, T. You get the free throw, you make it. You're up 1, now the possession. Potential. You can get a 4-point play with the free throw and a 3.
Big stop here. Go a long way by the Jazz.
White wants Brown. He's found him. Keontae George slips and falls. That ball's loose. Picked up by Clayton Jr. Lobs it up top and tapped up and in by Marketing.
Wow, what a series.
Jazz by 1. Brown goes corner. Pritchard drives and backs out. Well, there must be a slick spot on that floor. White blasts through, ball's down. Brown has it for a moment. Goes inside, over the top and a foul. My goodness, Keita was there. They got to wipe that floor up. It is slick.
Good defense. Keontae slips, but the ball came out of Jaylen Brown's hand before he went over, and that little lob right there. Great timing by Walter Clayton Jr. And everybody's on the floor. Ball pops out. Keita gets it. And you see the foul there by Nurk. A lot going on in there, Bowler.
Season free throw percentage 67% for the former Aggie from Utah State. Yeah, they're checking that floor out, man. It was slipping and sliding. They're going to bring Filipowski in after the first free throw attempt. That ties the game at 103. Clayton comes out, Filipowski in.
Great job by Walter Clayton, though.
24.8 seconds to play. Missed it. Mikhailuk. I mean, came out of nowhere. Skies in, rebounds, covers up, and here we go. On a buckle-up night in Boston.
Strapped in, Bowler. Tight.
TD Garden, everyone on their feet. Jazz trying to break a 3-game losing streak. Keontae George surveys the floor. There's a screen by Nurk. Keontae, little give and go, stop, pop, off the glass, no. Rebound, Nurk, put it up and in. 0.6 of a second to play. And Nurkic gives Utah the lead of 105 to 103.
The big fella coming through. And I thought that was a great shot by Keontae, being patient. Nurk right there for his 11th rebound of the night. Nice double-double, 11 points to go along with that. 4 assists as well. Big play.
Oh, baby, we just saw it. Here it is again. Diamond play of the game. Brought to you by Morgan Jewelers. Always brilliant. Nurk got the position on Keita, swings it up, scores it to give the Jazz a 2-point lead.
Well, that ball comes over on the right side, meaning the side that Nurkic was on. Just a nice, quick right back up. Good shot here by Key. You take that all day, but Nurkic says, "Oh, I got this." Nice little righty hook.
Well, look at that Jazz bench jumping. Keontae tonight, take a bow. 7th career 30-plus point game. He was key in the 3rd quarter.
Well, there is enough time for catching quick shot, though.
0.6 of a second is enough time to get the catch and then release the shot.
And the Celtics have a lot of guys, every single player out there right now for the Celtics can shoot the ball. So look for the Jazz to possibly switch everything.
Boston has launched 51 3-point attempts tonight.
And they don't necessarily need a 3.
No, not at all. But that may be the only option.
Yeah, maybe.
Here we go. 0.6 to play. Inbound.
Offensive foul. Gotta be.
Officials hold the players back. Offensive foul is the call.
Of course, Jaylen Brown unhappy with the call, but there is the push right there.
Yeah, he pushes Harkless out of the way. Boston will use the challenge.
And you have to.
Absolutely.
Right? I don't see a lot of difference between the Keontae George push on Derek White and then the Jaylen Brown push right there on Elijah Harkless. So I would be surprised if the call didn't stand.
Another conversation right to our right, Big T. This would be quite a win for the Jazz in Boston.
The only thing I would say is Elijah holding.
He has his arms extended out.
Yeah, let's see. Is he holding?
Right there on the back.
There's a push off. That's the only thing I can see that might make a little bit of difference. But they're both kind of posturing.
Here's a call.
After review, the offensive player drives back the defender and illegally shoves from elbow to wrist, creating illegal contact, knocking the defender to the ground. Call stands as offensive foul. Utah inbound with .6 on the game clock.
So Utah will keep the 2-point lead. The call stands, and the Jazz, Big T, are going to celebrate here in a moment. 0.6 of a second. Jaylen Brown with a 36-point game and involved. You can tell he's staring at the floor, involved with Harkless on that push.
Yeah, and for the Celtics, the time does run out on it. It's a tough way to end the game on a play like that. But there's no question the Jazz should secure this win. What a tough battle.
Well, the winning bucket, Nurkic off the miss, grabs this ball and just slips it up and in. Great touch by the big right there. Grabs it, turns, spins.
Doesn't get more clutch than that for a big. Just positioning himself. There's a little bit of fortune involved where that ball comes off on his side. He's got Queta pushed underneath the basket.
Credit the Jazz, trail by 14. They had all of 36 points at the half. They turned things around in the third quarter. Outscored Boston 38-26, and they played some defense here down the stretch. 0.6 of a second. Nurkic will inbound. Queta will defend. They find Lowry. There is a foul.
Fouls under further review to see if it happened before the expiration of the game
So
clock.
we're going to check it, T, before the expiration of the clock. Markkanen could be looking at free throws.
Yeah, it's a big win for the Jazz. It's a good bounce back from what we've seen in the previous couple of games.
Kevin Love came off the bench to help. Nurk, game's over. T, 105-103. The final,
the game
and that
clock has expired. Therefore, the
three-game
game is
losing
over.
streak will end. And also, Utah picks up their first road win by a bucket here in Boston.
That's big time. It is big time, Bowler, because it wasn't just about two guys offensively, especially carrying the Jazz. A lot of guys, and you saw the clutch basket by Nurkic. And just a great win against a team that's similar to the Jazz, trying to find that mixture of guys. But tonight, it was a team effort for sure.
Well, Keontae George was brilliant. Larry Markkanen, I mean, he put his head down and played really tough basketball. So did Nurkic as well. But how about Flip? He gets 13 off the bench.
Yes.
And Walter Clayton Jr., 7, and some defense performed by Harkless.
It was. I mean, collectively, the defense was on point, especially in that second half. And on the road, we always talk about keep it close. I know it was a low-scoring first half, but it favored the Jazz. It meant that maybe they weren't shooting well, but the defense was keeping Boston from doing the same, and Jazz just hung in there all the way to the end.
Well, the Jazz win, you win. Download the Swig app and get your free cup of pretzel bites tomorrow. Swig, the official soda shop of the Utah Jazz. Let's go courtside. LG with Nurkic.
Thanks, guys. Well, Nurk, the first road win of this season, and you have the clutch basket down the stretch. Can you walk me through what that was like?
I mean, I was just trying to play the right way, and, you know, some offensive board I didn't get, it felt like foul, so I was just sticking with the plan, going offensive rebound. I saw Keontae get a shot off a little bit on the left side, so I was able to get a ball and just lay it in.
And Keontae, 31 points tonight. Coach has tasked you with driving the pace and tempo with this team lately. How do you take on that type of task?
It's just all the work. It's just all the work, you know, we put in as a squad, as a team. You know, I mean, we all just trusting the work. I mean, at the end of the day, we knew we had to bring our own energy as a group, and you know, it's a tough team to play, especially at their house. So you know, we had to be collectively together, and that's what we were tonight.
Collectively.
He worked his ass off whole summer, so I'm down. Like, but he playing great so far the whole season. So step up defensively. So he doing both ways. You know, that's a big time. So I'm happy for him. Happy for our team.
Your team is, as a whole, 32 points off the bench. How big was that tonight?
I mean, it's always good when you get some production off your bench. You know, like I said, everybody puts in the work. So we talk about it's going to be anybody's night, and you know, the bench did their job tonight. Like you said, 32 points off the bench, and you know, we just all want to celebrate each other.
Thanks, guys. Congrats.
Jazz got it done. Keontae 31. He goes 11 of 13 from the free throw line. And Big T Filipowski, you got to tip his hat. 13 and 8. And the Jazz get defensive in the last few minutes. First road win, 105-103. We take you back to Salt Lake. Siegfried and Jensen, post-game report.
Max One and Music.